Yep. Got it. Welcome to Retirement Choices Podcast, where we dive into the topics that matter most. I'm your host, JP Hamlet, and each week we'll explore fascinating subjects, interview experts, and uncover stories that will leave you both informed and inspired. From finance to technology to arts and culture, from personal growth to global issues, our podcast is your go to destination for thought provoking discussions and captivating narratives. Whether you're looking to expand your knowledge, gain new perspectives, or simply enjoy a good story, join us on this journey as we explore the wonders of our world and beyond. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on this adventure together. This is the Retirement Choices Podcast, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Yes, let's go ahead and get started. Let's jump right into it, Jerry.
Okay. Can you share a bit about your background and how it prepared you for entrepreneurship?
Yeah, uh, born and raised in Los Angeles and went to local high school, Manual Arts, and went to college, Chico State University. I did a real estate development program at USC, but I started my entrepreneurial career back in 1981. Actually, I was in real estate and did that for 6 years. Then I got my insurance license. But I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. My dad was an entrepreneur. Um, I saw people in Ebony magazine that were entrepreneurs that I wanted to be more like them. I wanted to have my own. Um, I wanted to drive my own bus. I wanted to drive my own train, drive my own boat, or yacht, I should say. And so, just looking at entrepreneurship, I realized that that was the way to control your destiny and to maybe generate more money and to have kind of the lifestyle that most people envy. And so, it was in my blood. My dad was an entrepreneur. He did taxes. He had a real estate license. He did notary work, but he's never worked for anybody, at least as long as I've been alive. And matter of fact, he's 93 years old now, and he's still working. So he's still an entrepreneur, and he does taxes. He used to have 300 clients, and now he has about 30 or 40. But he goes to Vegas every, season or after April 15th. He goes to Vegas, and he goes there about 3 or 4 times a year. He's still very independent. He goes to the gym 5 days a week. He's in his office 7 days a week, even on Saturdays and Sundays. He goes to the office at least until 1 o'clock. And you would know that it's not good here. Let me mute this. That's bad. All right. So that happens, I guess, in real life. When you're doing a podcast, you have friends that know you're on the air and they call you to say, "What's up?" So I got to call this person back or tell them just to listen to the podcast. So anyway, my dad is still an entrepreneur, and maybe I'll be an entrepreneur for the rest of my life. But I chose financial services because I wanted to control money, I wanted to manage money, I wanted to make money, and I wanted to invest money.
What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced when you started out, and how did you overcome them?
Wow, great question. In sales, there's always opposition, there's always rejection, there's always obstacles. And so you have to, I think, train yourself. It's like working out. You have to be mentally strong to, withstand some of the disappointment, some of the failure, some of the rejection, some of the doors closing in your face. So I certainly had my challenges, and I never regretted being an entrepreneur, because when I first started out after college, I was in banking for a year when I realized that I didn't want to work for somebody else. So I knew it was going to be tough. I got my real estate license, and then I just, put my head down and went to work. I started listing properties and selling properties, and just really, reading a lot of self-help or self-improvement books, made it easier for me to cope with some of the rejection, some of the no's, how to handle the objections, how to create rapport with clients, how to really focus on service. Service your clients. They'll give you referrals, or they'll refer you to friends and family. But certainly, doing a good job was always important. And I think maybe the key word, at least in terms of a characteristic, is to have integrity. And so when I started, I knew I wanted to be reputable. I wanted to be credible. And so I always wanted to do the right thing. So I never oversold or overpromised, or certainly I never under delivered. I always tried to over deliver. So to answer your question, a lot of objections, a lot of doors closed in my face, but I think you have to be resolute. You have to have a certain personality, or you have to be dogmatic about what you want to do. You have to really dig down deep and make sure that you're committed. Once you're committed, you run through a wall. You wake up early. You go to bed late. You sleep 3 hours or 4 hours or less to get the job done, to make sure that you achieve what it is that you set out to achieve.
Could you share a memorable success story or milestone moment in your career?
I've had several, which is nice to say. Even recently, I'm a little older now, but I'm still having success. I'm still having these winning stories. As a matter of fact, 2024, I've been in business, I've been self-employed for 40 years, and I had my best quarter in 2024. It was my best first quarter, January, February, March. I did better in 2024 than I've ever done, ever. So that's a success story. And as we're sitting here in April last month, I had my best month in terms of commissions, in terms of revenue. So I'm still having success. But even back when I was with New York Life as a independent contractor, and an agent, an advisor, financial planner, I was one of the top producers. We used to have this program. It was a quarterly ceremony where the top producers would, come together. They'd feed us lunch at a nice restaurant, and I would consistently be the top producer for New York Life agents, and this was back in maybe 1987. I got a great story that I'll share. Or matter of fact, I'll have one of my colleagues, one of my good friends, Mr. Darryl Brown, I'll have him come in and he'll tell you the story about how he was number one until I showed up. And we just laugh about it to this day. But being a top producer with New York Life, and then I went on to do some supplemental benefits. I became the Rookie of the Year for production with Aflac Everybody knows the duck. But when I started with Aflac, my first year, I was the national #1 producer with Aflac. This is out of thousands and thousands of agents across the country. I was #1. More successes, I mean, I can go on and talk about many more, but I think that's just kind of the highlights. But I'll give you one more. In terms of being rewarded or being honored or recognized, I have several recognitions, or I've been recognized on several occasions, but one of the things that I'm super proud of is always making certain top performer clubs and getting trips, traveling. I've traveled to many countries, many states just by being a performer or producer and being rewarded, being actually given nice hotel stays, on cruises, having the best rooms, just being a winner and receiving a lot of we call those perks, a lot of perks along the way.
Okay. Can you share any experiences where taking calculated risks led to significant opportunity or growth?
Well, yeah, I think just being an entrepreneur is risky. You could take a job where you get, and then back in 1981 or 82, a lot of my peers from college or high school, they were generating maybe, they were making $30,000 a year, $25,000, $35,000, $40,000 a year. $50,000 a year would have been a large amount. It would have been a significant amount of income, but I chose not to have that guaranteed income or that blanket or that cushion. I didn't have any security. I decided to, roll the dice because I knew the upside of being an entrepreneur was that my income would be unlimited, right? I could make hundreds of thousands of dollars as an entrepreneur as opposed to my friends or peers that were making, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. So being an entrepreneur, you roll the dice. There's some years you may have that are lean. As a matter of fact, I don't think I made over $100,000 in my first probably maybe 15, 20 years as an entrepreneur. In 1987, let me go back. In 1985, I was selling real estate. I was a listing agent and a selling agent, and my goal was to make $100,000. And this was back in 1985. I don't think I broke $100,000 until 2001. So, it took me 15 years chasing $100,000 to actually get there, to get that six-figure salary or income. And now it's, much more than that. But because I took the risk early on and I made less, because there were some years I made $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. There were some years where, if I made, or some days where if I made $20, I felt good, because I could at least buy dinner. But being an entrepreneur can be the most rewarding thing, but it can also be the most daunting thing and the most difficult thing that you'll ever do. But do it because it's worth it.
Okay. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking to enter the retirement planning or financial service industry?
Do it. Just do it. Get your education, get your licenses, get your certifications, become an expert, whatever area, if it's retirement planning or financial planning or money management or wealth management, or just being an advisor or doing estate planning, become an expert, but don't, like a lot of successful people will tell you, don't listen to other people. You have to kind of be committed to what your passion is. And if your passion is to be a financial planner or to be in real estate or to be in financial services, then commit to it and don't let anybody discourage you. Even when you have bad days or bad months or bad years, you have to continue to plug away. You have to continue to make it happen. You have to be willing to sacrifice. But if it's your dream, go for it. Be prepared. Understand the challenges, understand the risk, understand the downsides or the down years, understand the hurdles, understand the naysayers. And typically your family, they don't really support, well, in some families, but you have to be self-motivated. You have to govern yourself. You have to have your own goals. And so if you want to be in financial services, commit to it and just make it happen. Make it your life's work, because in the process you'll gain so much. You'll have so much success. You'll have so many victories. You'll have so many opportunities to help other people. You can, be a mentor. You can, become a philanthropist. You can travel the world. You can make interesting investments. You can buy property in different countries or different states. But again, it's really about what you want to do and what you're willing to commit to. And so maybe, matter of fact, I told my son this today, like literally an hour ago. I said, be focused, be determined, be driven, be, relentless, be consistent. These are all characteristics that go into being successful and to run your own show and get the results that maybe you've only dreamt about.
Looking ahead, what are your goals and inspirations for the future of your business?
Good question. As I get older, it changes. I'm not as ambitious as I used to be. I think I've achieved most of the things I wanted to achieve, and as a matter of fact, I think I've achieved more than I thought I would achieve. So I'm not looking to be a billionaire. A few million is sufficient. And so I'm not trying to, have 1 million clients or be a Fortune 500 company. Really, I want to maintain what I have. And, my wife is a little younger than me, and she's ambitious. I used to be more ambitious. Now she's more ambitious. So I want to grow my business so that when I decide not to work any longer, that she'll have a business and clients and consistent revenue, have residual income, and not just for my wife, but for my my heirs, my granddaughter, my grandson. I have 3 grandchildren. I have 2 children. So I want to make sure they have some of the things I didn't have and just give them some opportunities to have a better life. My life has been awesome. I thank my mother for that. First of all, she raised me, and I think she did a pretty good job. But I'm hoping to maintain my business and maybe grow it, maybe 5 to 10% per year. But again, this year has been a phenomenal year. And so if I keep on this pace, my business will be fine, and I'll be a top producer. I can buy a home in 90% of the cities in Los Angeles. I don't think I can do Bel Air yet, but my ambition, I'm pretty content. But just to stay active, like my dad, he's 93. He's still active. So maybe I'll be active at 93, but I'll be active because I want to, not because I have to. And that's the difference, I think, with some people. You have to really, you want to be comfortable, and you want to get to the point where you don't have to work or you don't have to grind. And so I don't have to grind now. I don't have to work hard. I don't need referrals. I accept referrals, but I don't go out of my way, and I don't work with people I don't want to work with. I work with people I want to work with. As a matter of fact, I was telling some of my clients recently that I like all my clients. Like, that's crazy. I can't even count the number of clients I have. I think it was 3,000 at some point. I think it's more than 3,000 now because we're still growing. A lot of my work now is with existing clients, so that's another thing to consider as you grow your business, as you grow your practice. You know, if you take good care of your clients, they'll buy products and services from you in the future. So, you know, if I just work with my existing clients, my income will, you know, continue to rise. Was that the answer, or did I address your question? Okay. Long answer, but that's what podcasts are for.
What has been the most rewarding part of having your own business?
You know, I'm wearing glasses. I don't need glasses. I'm not even reading anything. So I don't know if I look better with glasses or without glasses, but here we go. The last few minutes, no glasses. Yes, give me the question again.
What has been the most rewarding part of having your own business?
Waking up when I want to, you know. Waking up when you want to, that's pretty important. But just being independent, being able to, you know, do what I want to do, go where I want to go, when I want to go, buy what I want to buy, eat what I want to eat, you know, shop where I want to shop. But really just never having to be in a situation where somebody tells me what to do. Never being in a situation where I'm not happy with my coworkers or my supervisor or manager or director. It's always been about, you know, what can you do to generate more income than if you work for somebody else? Can you stay focused and disciplined enough to make more money for yourself than if you were working for somebody else? Could they pay you more? And typically the answer, well, it could be yes if you don't have the entrepreneurial gene or the work habit. But being an entrepreneur is so free. I don't know if you've ever, I don't know, when you ride a bike sometime, or some people ride motorcycles, or you are out on your boat or your yacht, just the freedom, you know, just to accelerate or to exhale. You know, I think what else can I say? Just having the freedom and, you know, having the choices and not being encumbered by other people's thoughts of you or their plans for you or their job for you. It's very rewarding to call your own shots. I mean, that's what I think men, or I don't know, human beings, but certainly I was born to be free. I was born to be independent. I was born to hunt and to find a way to take care of my family without having to punch a clock or without having to get instructions or to get assignments from somebody or criticism from somebody who may be not as smart and not as gifted as I am. So being free and having the choice or the choices to do whatever you want to do. But I got to go back to, you know, waking up when you want to wake up, going to work when you want to work, starting when you want to start, and, you know, working out during the day if you want to, or going swimming or cycling or hitting golf balls while people are working has always kind of made me feel independent and on the right track.
If you could say anything to your younger self, what would you say?
Good job. Good job. No, I think I would emphasize the importance of capturing as much information, relevant information as possible. Sometimes we go through experiences or we go through stages or we have experiences that we don't capture, like we don't maximize the experience. We don't comprehend the many factors that are involved with day-to-day things. I mean, whether it's building something or whether it's, repairing something, whether it's getting prepared for something. A lot of times we take tests and we just, we go to the answers. We want to know the quickest way to pass the exam. But if I was to talk to my younger self, I'd say study and understand, be clear on what the benefits are and also how this might allow you to be more effective or to save money down the road because you listen to the carpenter or you listen to the mechanic. So the answer to your question is just to be more in tune with each experience and try to maximize my understanding so that if I have to use that information again in the future, I would have it at my disposal. So learning, understanding, and not, glossing over stuff because a lot of times you'll go through experiences and you'll see the same thing. It would be more advantageous if you understood the first time, what was involved, how did this thing work, how was it built, or how does it do what it does, and how can I save money in the future because I can fix it myself or build it myself. Maybe we have time for one more question, I think.
Okay. Lastly, what sets Retirement Choices of California apart from other retirement firms?
Okay, so Retirement Choices, I'm the founder, CEO, senior partner, started back in 2008. So, what separates us is my partner, my wife is my partner. She's the CFO, and she's an MBA out of Purdue, and we're very focused on customer service. We're very focused on results. Again, integrity comes up. We want to be credible. We don't want to have bad reports, or nowadays they Yelp you or they zap you on Yelp. So we're more interested in long-term credibility, and we're more interested in being a firm that does what we say we're going to do and never mislead the client. We're modest, we don't spend a lot of money on advertising or, we're not involved in things that are not relevant to our business. So we focus on our business and we really, try to make sure that we're available when the client calls. We answer their questions, we make them feel good about their decision to work with us. We show them essentially how to retire sooner than later. It is our objective to help people get prepared for that sunset date where they never have to go back to work. They retired. They're getting, maybe their income is, 70 or 80 or 90%, or maybe sometimes 100% of what they were getting before they retired. But we are very focused on customer service and being efficient and just doing the right thing, always doing the right thing. We'll take one more question, I think, before we wrap this up.
With the evolving landscape of retirement planning and financial services, how do you ensure that Retirement Choices of California remains innovative and adaptive?
Well, having young staff or having a young wife, I say young, she's younger than I am, but she's no teenager. She's a mature, sophisticated, educated, intelligent woman who's very in tune with technology. When I hire people, I like hiring young people that have creativity and they have a zest for the business. So with that being said, it was great to be a part of this podcast, to be on the inaugural podcast. And we're excited about the future of Retirement Choices and the future of this show. So please tune in again for more information and to also take this ride and be a part of this journey with Retirement Choices and our staff, our co-producers. Want to thank Cliff Mosley and the other engineers that made this possible. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next show. God bless.